Remote sensing is the scientific technique that used in collecting information of the Earth's surface without physical contact on the surface. Today I'm going to tell about the technology in the remote sensing. There are two types of the remote sensing, which is active sensor and passive sensor. Active sensor can sense the Earth's surface even covered with the clouds. They rely on their own sources of radiation to illuminate the objects. The energy reflected and returned to the sensor may be measured, and the most common active sensor used in remote sensing is radar and LiDAR. For example, number 1, which is LiDAR. LiDAR is light detection and ranging. LiDAR is used to derive measure of terrain elevation. For example, LiDAR has several advantages over field surveying and photogrammetry, including the fact it is highly accurate, timely, and capable of operating over rugged terrain. The essence of the LiDAR is the measurement of the time it takes laser pulses to travel from a transmitter to a target and back to a receiver. The combination of the information with GPS technology allows for the recording of accurate three-dimensional coordinates in the active sensor. Of the technology in the active sensor is radar. Radar is an active radio detection and ranging sensor that provides its own sources of the electromagnetic energy. An active radar sensor, whether airborne or spaceborne, emits microwave radiation in a series of pulses from an antenna. When the energy reaches the target, some of the energy is reflected back towards the sensor, and the time is required for the energy to travel to the target and return back to the sensor determine the distance of the range to the target. By recording the range and magnitude of the energy reflected from all the target as the system passes by a two-dimensional image of it. For passive sensor includes the different types of radiometers and spectrometers. Most passive systems used in the remote sensing application are operate in the visible infrared, thermal infrared, and microwave portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. In passive sensor, the multispectral imagery refers to 3 to 10 bands. Each band has descriptive title. For example, the color of each band is green, red, blue, near infrared, and shortwave infrared. For example, in the multispectral sensor, technology is the Landsat 8. Landsat 8 produces 11 images with the following bands. Each band has a spatial resolution of 30 meters except for band 8, 10, and 11, while band 8 has a spatial resolution of meter 15. Band 10 and 11 have 100 meters pixel size. Because the atmosphere absorbs light in the wavelength, there is no band in the 0.88 to 1.36 range. In a passive sensor, hyperspectral is a hard number of continuous bands. Hyperspectral provide a complete record of spectral responses of materials over the wavelength considered. Hyperspectral data can be analyzed in a much more advanced ways than multispectral, thus providing more information. Many more narrow spectral bands in the hyperspectral. Hyperspectral also can resolve individual mineral observation because mostly used for geology or vegetation in health studies. Mostly airborne system, but space-borne system flown on EO1 satellite system is used as hyperspectral. Conclusion, there are 4 types of technology in remote sensing. There are 2 types of sensor in remote sensing, which is active sensor and passive sensor. For the active sensor, there are technology which is LiDAR and radar, while for the passive sensor is Landsat 8 for the multispectral imagery and Hyperion or EO1 for the hyperspectral imagery. And that's all from me.